Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are in the middle of Hurricane Milton.
We are. It's coming. It's almost here. It'll be here very shortly, and we're right in the path.
Okay, today we're talking about managing fear. Fear and expectations. And we are going to use the example of hurricanes because that's what we happen to be going through right now.
Yeah, and this
along
happens,
with the entire state of Florida.
Right, and this happens over and over again. It's a cycle. Hurricanes coming. We got a season. They come through. Some of them are bad. Some of them are not. But we get the news cycle that really amps up what's happening out there and paints a worst case scenario.
Now, there's three phases in managing a stressful event. There's before the stressful event, there's during the stressful event, and then there's after the stressful event. So we're going to break this down and we're just going to talk about managing fear, anxiety, and stress.
That's tight.
Right now, we are in the pre-storm phase.
Yep.
And we've been talking about this for a while. Now, when you're in the pre-storm phase, there's a lot of hype and
PSH.
Energy is contagious. So you're going to be talking to people and they're going to be ramped up because they got to go to the store and they got to put gas in their car. Oh, wait, there's no gas.
There's no water in the grocery store.
They're out of toilet paper. I don't understand why everybody runs out of toilet paper during any event.
Storms make you crap.
I mean, that's the number one fear is people are like, oh, what if I don't have toilet paper?
Why aren't they buying new underwear if they're going to be crapping so much?
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so if we're not careful, this can start to take on a life of its own. And Jason and I often talk about clean pain versus dirty pain. The dirty pain is the anticipation. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, and the catastrophizing.
It's catastrophizing. And I feel like that is what is happening right now. Now, I understand that information is crucial and being prepared is crucial and data is only information. However, I also know that energy is contagious and the way people are acting right now feels a little
there's a difference
fear-based. It feels a little fear-based.
And there's also a difference in panicking and pretending different things when if you've been told, so it just brought up for me when you're told to evacuate, when you're told you're going to be on ground zero. And if you don't feel prepared and if you've been told to evacuate, maybe you just get up and move. You move yourself out of the position of fear into something else. But I love where you're going with it, where it's like where people are getting hyped. People are kind of expanding this possibility of catastrophe because we've seen it. I went down to St. Pete just this past weekend,
and it was
we
devastating.
Saw what kind of destruction
bad.
comes.
Yes, I understand.
And then this is this whole new thing. So the people there that are in the direct, ground zero, getting hit by the storm, and they're on the coast, have that evidence in place of what could happen.
There's a distinction, though. There's a very important distinction. And it is the questions that we ask in these moments. Because, yes, we want to be prepared. We want to know the knowledge. We want to know everything that we can. However, we don't want to buy into
the hype and the fear. It's about the preparedness.
Yes.
It's just what are the facts around the preparedness? Not what is the doom and gloom.
We don't want to attach worry and anxiety.
Because that can freeze you sometimes.
It does. It starts putting it into a lower vibration.
And
if
you
that
also,
makes sense.
and it's also like a stacking effect. Like that worry creates more worry, creates a new worry, and you'll find yourself worrying about things you never would have even worried about on your own.
Now, here's the thing is I want to talk about this because I feel like I struggle with this. I really do. In fact, in the last 2 days, I have been noticing my body has been acting out.
Tightening
It is
up.
feeling the stress and the anxiety of everything that's going on around me. I look at Jason and you actually have something on your lip.
Yeah, I've been biting on my lip.
Right? So the same thing's been happening
And
to you.
that's a subconscious thing.
It is. There is a subconscious stress thing. And that's why I want to talk about this. I'm not bringing this up because we're
not trying to exacerbate.
We haven't mastered this skill. Yeah. This is something that we deal with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
It's important to watch the news because you want to know when is it coming, where is it coming, you want to know everything you can about the storm. And yet they start using language like
death and destruction.
If you fight Mother Nature always wins.
Yeah, there's no
and
chance.
They make your subconscious mind start feeling like you are in this battle against
the world.
Right?
And it's one of these situations where you start feeling like, and you start picking up this tonality of, I'm gonna be a victim. What kind of victim am I gonna be?
They're setting you up.
Yeah, it's not.
And here's the thing to remember is a lot of this is for, and I hate to say this, but a lot of this is ratings and sensationalized in many ways. Now, I know there's going to be people that are like, oh, well, until you lose your home. Well, that's the thing. Yes, tragedies can happen.
And are going to happen.
And we just need to know that when that happens, that's when we go into action to find the solution and to go into cleanup mode. Where I don't want people to go is, oh my gosh, the worst is going to happen.
Yeah, and then you either just give up, you start
manifesting.
Yeah, you stop planning, you start manifesting, and then you get into that haste makes waste scenario where it's either I'm over preparing or I'm trying to get everything together and then I just take off, and then you keep building that worry and fear because now you can't see it. You don't know what's going to go happening with your quote unquote livelihood. But there is an uncertainty. Live in that vibration.
There is an uncertainty that we are going into. And I just want to say, it doesn't have to be a scary uncertainty.
No, I think it's a part of managing that stress is have your preparation plan, have your evacuation plan, have those plans in place so that you have clarity. And that's I think the big thing is a lot of people are like, so it's the uncertainty that you mentioned that then they start buying into and absorbing or taking in all this outside information.
Yes.
Where it's like, if I'm not clear, if I don't have a plan, if I don't have action steps that I know I can take, then I'm subject to soaking in like a sponge all this negativity and all these doomsday possibilities that are coming. And then I'm just weighed down and soaked up with all those negative vibrations, negative feelings. And now I'm just a soggy sponge laying where I started, not going anywhere, not doing anything with no agency over the whole situation.
We become paralyzed with fear.
I didn't want to use the word paralyzed.
I just used it. No, I
feel like it's overused.
I actually had a friend call me today and told me that I needed to put my pool furniture in the deep end of my pool.
We don't really have a deep end of our pool.
Well, yeah, we do.
We do, but it's
yeah, we do. And I just thought that's misinformation. That's not what you should do in this situation.
Bring it inside.
Right?
Bring it
Yes, you
inside, put it
should,
in the garage, put it wherever it fits.
but don't put it in.
The
You don't
reason-
need to put it in your pool.
No, the reason I think a lot of people started putting some of their furniture in the pool is so it didn't blow away.
She also said there's a gas station 60 miles from our house that has gas.
60 miles there, 60 miles back.
It's time to
That's
refill.
That's a full day.
These are the things. I mean, that's why people go to the store and they buy 10 rolls of
10 packages of rolls.
Right?
360 rolls.
Of toilet paper because the storm is coming and you never know. And God forbid we have to go without toilet paper.
Yeah. And I picture someone getting those 360 rolls of toilet paper and they're sitting on the floor somewhere, and then water comes in the house and now all the toilet paper is ruined anyway.
Now, what I don't want people to do is listen to this and say that, oh, Jana and Jason aren't taking this storm seriously, because we
Jason
are.
said, don't worry about anything. Hakuna Matata.
No,
That's
stop.
not what we're saying.
That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is let's manage the stress and the fear and the anxiety, because there's no need to attach all of these lower vibrations.
Right.
And we are not in a fight against God and Mother Nature.
And we're definitely not in a fight against each other. When we get out on the road or try to get gas, or we try to go to the grocery store and we realize, okay, they don't have this that I wanted. What else? Let's start looking at that adaptability and the overcoming, and okay, well, what else will work?
I mean, I feel like, we just watched this stupid show on television called
Outlast.
And they were on this island together in Alaska. And next thing you know, they started sabotaging each other. And that's what's happening
Stealing each other's
the
supplies,
grocery store. They're like, oh my God, the water aisle is getting low on water. I'm going to block people from going down that aisle until I get everything I need.
Kick the lady over so I can make sure she doesn't bring her cart close to the cases of water that I want while I'm trying to grab them. I got to have them all.
God only gives us what we can handle. And yes, that means there's going to be times where the outcome is not exactly what we
expect
hope or want. However, we can handle it. And sometimes adversity, sometimes these challenges are actually little gifts that maybe at the time we don't quite understand why we're going through this or why this is in our life, but it's really a gift in order to make us better, to
make us stronger,
make us more resilient, make us
see our strength.
Yes.
One of the things
how strong we
I
are.
read not yesterday, but I think it was about 2 weeks ago, was adversity is a horrible thing to waste. Because a lot of times we just go through it and we have the stress. We're creating all that dirty pain around the adversity. And we just, once it goes through, it's like, oh, it wasn't that bad, or oh, it was really hard, and now I had to get through it, and I'm trying to get through it. But we never take time to just look into it and say, okay, well, how is this making me better? We say, how did this screw up my life? How did this deplete me? How did this take away from me, instead of what did it give me?
The second thing that I want to bring up is managing stress and anxiety during the storm. Because that is the moment where the dog's shaking, there's wind whistling, there's things happening outside, and your mind can automatically go to a really scary place.
Yeah,
and so it's very important to really be cognizant of the words and the thoughts that you're having in those moments.
That story you're telling yourself. Because I know for me, like my first instinct is to should all over myself. I should have done this. I should have done that. Why didn't I?
You start beating your own self up. It's like your own hurricane inside your mind.
And what that is it's digging myself a hole, a pit, an emotional pit, a confidence pit. All these, it's just putting me deeper in a ditch that makes it harder to get out of on the go forward side, right? But if I can catch those should haves, could haves, why didn't I's early, then I can just start saying, okay, well, I'm here. This is what's happening in my presence and in my circumstances. What is the next best thing? Like what can I do right now in this moment that protects me, that keeps me safe, that helps the dog, helps my family. That's where we get to have that stress reducer and get clarity around what our agency is in the situation.
And then the third part of this is the aftermath, the afterstorm. And again, we talked a little bit about this when Jason went to St. Pete and helped the cleanup there. There's several instances where your mind can go to everything that you've lost.
Yeah. Because it's right there. It's in front of you.
Because it's
on
right
your face.
there.
You're actually picking it up, physically moving it out of your house if it's still in there.
You can start asking the questions, why me, oh Lord? Why me, oh Lord? And you automatically become the victim.
Yeah, and you start telling yourself, I'll never recover. It'll
Look
never
at
be the
what
same.
has happened to me.
I guess this is the new normal.
And so it's very important to catch yourself in that phase and say, okay, this is the situation I find myself in. I'm alive. Let's be grateful for that. Yeah. You start really focusing and consciously moving your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions in the direction you want to go.
Hey, frickin' men. Yeah, we have to take inventory of what we have at hand. Like, what are tools and resources that we can use now? And one of the stories that comes to my mind all the time in situations like this is someone gets stabbed or they get shot or something in their arm. It's not life-threatening, but all they focus on is the wound. Like, I've been stabbed. And then they go to the hospital and all the doctors are like, you've been stabbed. But no one ever starts working to stop the bleeding. No one ever stops to actually take an acknowledgement and inventory of what's there, like what we have, all the resources around us, and actually help the problem get better, like on the move forward. So that way things can start getting better. And it's not about what happened in the past. It's about what we're doing now.
How are we going to learn to use what we
Yes.
still have?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so 3 phases. And again, this is really just about managing our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions.
To get the results that we want.
And to know that there's fear and there's anxiety that is in the air. It's called energy. And it's very important to shield ourselves from it and realize it's only information. So we need to almost filter the information that we're getting.
Just be selective at a minimum, because fear is what sells things.
Yes.
And that's a lot of times you're being sold to watch this program. You're being sold to go buy certain products. And if you can manage what you're allowing in, like you're saying, then you get to start managing, okay, what do I want to think and feel about this? And how do I want to act moving forward? You find yourself living lucky.
We'll talk to you again on Friday. Wish us luck.
Good luck. Keep living lucky.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.